Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the show. I am your host, the one and the only, Proud 4%er, where I take my time to help you, my viewers, think outside of the 96% Democratic black voting box. Okay, 96%ers, let's jump right into it. My rant today comes after I was pondering the negative remarks from many of you about the movie Lincoln, even in some instances from folk who haven't seen it. But in yours truly, the Proud 4%ers' opinion, the movie presented timely look at the moral consciousness of those who founded the Republican Party. When discussing my pleasure of viewing the movie with most of my fellow blacks, the conversation never ends without some disdain for the GOP and an attempt to discredit the basis of its founding, which was to stop the spread and the eventual abolition of slavery. There has been an inexhaustible effort in the last 50 years to purge from history the Republican Party's fight against the Democrats' desire to keep blacks bound in an inferior status as a second-class people, and a battle, by the way, that the Republicans eventually won. It never ceases to amaze me that whenever the subject of the history of the Democrat Party's turpitude is brought up, those who support them always juxtapose the party's racist anti-black and the civil rights nature to the Republicans, as if it is their innate nature. The truth, 96%ers, the Republican Party, whose very founding was solely for the eventual abolishment of the slavery of all blacks in this country. Now, whether or not all felt the desire to live next door to those who would be freed, nonetheless 360,000 made the ultimate sacrifice for this Republican cause, and that, my friend, was with their lives. Conversely, the party, those Democrats that you 96%ers so dearly love, that wished to keep those same blacks in chains and subservient to them, before and during such war for the Republican cause, as well as the following 80 years, through every heinous crime imaginable against mankind and perpetrated upon our ancestors, are viewed by you as heroes and champions of black civil rights. So much so that in a civil debate, if such could ever exist between a black who believes that the Republican Party has always been racist, I was engaged in such a debate with a group of my black friends. They posed the question to me, what have Republicans ever done for black people? When I, your Proud 4%er, responded that for starters, they freed you. One of the participants' reply after moments of silence was, well, they only did it so they could control us. Wow. And I must say, to my befuddlement, therein came a consensus to this idiotic, rational, unbelievable. That is, how desperate these people are to justify that which they have determined to be truth, no matter how much fact, logic, or history you present to them regarding the 150-year racist history of the party they serve in an unmatched percentage of any other group, such as the 4,000 lynchings, starting the KKK, Jim Crow, disenfranchisement, and on, right up to the Dixiecrats who vehemently hated blacks from the 1940s right into the 1960s. These people, and many of you 96%ers, will try, and do, attribute it all to those who initiated every civil rights bill to give blacks their equality, including the Civil Rights Acts of 1957, 1960, and 1964, all over the racist majority Democrat Party opposition. Side note for the true haters, out of the 26 Dixiecrats that hated you simply because you were black, only 3 later became Republicans. The rest died lifelong Democrats, including Al Gore's father, Al Gore Sr. But that doesn't matter. Just rewrite it to say otherwise. Oh, and by the way, I can give facts that in 1964 Barry Goldwater, who was a lifelong member of the NAACP and helped found the Arizona chapter of this civil rights organization, did not vote against the 1964 Civil Rights Act because he was a card-carrying racist, as rewritten by Democrats today. And it never fails when fact, logic, and history discredits the beloved Democrats. Its lovers always rationalize. Both parties are evil. There is no difference. You can't trust either one. So I just voted Democrat, you know. The better of two evils. 96%ers, all of that is lunacy. And at 60 plus, I've heard them all. So I say to you, don't let this unfounded backlash stop you from gaining some true historical insight of the battle that was waged by a party which was predominantly white against the racist Democrats, who in a pejorative sense called them the Black Republican Party, and this was because of the Republicans' desire to set blacks free and afford them with the same civil rights as other Americans. Yes, backlash, which is coming from people who have just chosen to remain ignorant. Go see the movie, and 96%ers enjoy it. Well, folks, that's all the time I have in this segment. As always, until we next meet, this again your host, the one and the only proud 4%er, providing you with the necessary tools to cut your way out of the 96% Democratic black voting box.